Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And our good friend Mark Brick is back with us, co-owner, part owner, the family that owns Village Marina and the Boathouse and the Brick House and Casablanca. So your family comes from Iowa.
Yes.
You weren't born here. You were born in Iowa, kind of grew up in Iowa, but raised here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
After your family bought in. Did you always know you were going to be here at the lake running the family business kind of a thing, or did that come up later in life? How did that happen?
Oh, so my parents bought the marina in 1992.
Right.
And I was 22 years old. And I was finishing my master's degree at the University of Kansas. And my dad called me and said, hey, you want to come down and manage this marina that I'm buying? And I was like, Dad, I'm a master's in business. I don't want to run this little, taco stand type place.
That's right.
I'm going to go make my thing in the world. And so then about 15 years later, after being incorporated, I was like, hey, Dad, I'm ready to come down.
That sounds pretty good right now. Wow, that's interesting. So at first you didn't jump at it and say, that's what I want to do.
Oh, definitely not.
Took you a while.
Yes,
You've got a lot of education.
I do.
I was reading your bio. You went to Creighton, then you went to Kansas, then you went to Iowa State.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, it's funny. So I had my brother and I had a landscape company in high school. And I said, my dad's like, you need to go to college. And I said, I'm not going to college, I'm making plenty of money doing my landscape thing. And so I wasn't planning on going. And then my dad said one day, he goes, hey, you need to go to Creighton to help me move in your cousin into a dorm room. So we move all the stuff in the dorm room. My dad goes, all right, well, here's the deal. You're in college. We got you accepted. This is your dorm room that you're going to.
Wow.
And so what the deal is, if you flunk out your first semester, then you're out. But if you like it, you can stay with it. And I love college so much. And then so I get my undergrad in college, I get my graduate degree in college, and then I go to Iowa State to get my master's in accounting. And my dad had to sit down with me. He goes, you're not supposed to like it this much. You need to get out of college.
You've become a professional student, man.
I'd still be in college. I loved it so much.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Really?
So basically, he kicked me out of college, or he stopped funding my educational pursuits and made me get to work. So,
but that was what a godsend that was. Not just because you got the education, but I think you met your wife there, right?
I did. I think it's the first day of college. I met Sheila, and that was it. Yeah, so we started dating then.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was like love at first sight.
It was. Yeah, we were 18 years old, and I think we got married at 23 years old. And, yeah. Well, actually, when I graduated my undergrad, I said, so what are you going to do now? And she goes, I'm going to get my master's degree. I said, okay, I guess I'll go do that too. And so that's really how I got the master's degree, because I was just following her to the next school.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And she's not from the lake. Where's she from?
She's from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, Minneapolis area.
Wow. So she knows what cold weather is.
Oh, she does.
Up there from Eden Prairie.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so the family business, your mom and dad, your dad's a lawyer up in Iowa. They buy Village Marina in the early 90s, and it became a mom and pop business. I mean, everybody kind of chipped in and worked at it, including you. So you started out with the marina, and then you add the restaurants to it.
Yes.
The first one was the Boathouse?
The Boathouse.
Okay.
Right.
When did that come about?
That was probably in 1995.
Oh, so it wasn't too long after you purchased the marina.
No, it was like 3-4 years later. So where the Boathouse is now, they used to be called Divers Village. And the pool there used to be 20 feet deep.
Yeah.
And so they go in there like the scuba divers. I mean, it was all scuba diving equipment, and I don't even know who'd want to scuba dive here, but that's what it was. And so when they started the restaurant, the insurance company's like, you can't have a 20-foot pool in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So we had to fill that thing in, and then got our loan, and it was just probably 50-seat restaurant, pretty small, but it's part of the marina.
Yeah.
So it's a good amenity, and that's how we kind of started with the Boathouse. And now it's been completely remodeled, but it's that's how it started off anyway.
Well, and before the Boathouse, your mom was making chicken salad or something like that?
Right, yep.
And just selling it like out of the marina.
Oh, sold out. I mean, she makes the best pasta salad. I wouldn't even say my mom's a good cook, but she has like 3 things that she does really well, at least in the food world.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. She can make a mean pasta salad.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
How about that? And that went so well. You guys said, that sounds so. We might as well start a restaurant here.
Right.
And did you, like you said, you had to take a loan out. So you're taking a chance. This is a business chance.
Right.
That you took. That was a good chance.
It was. It did work out. I mean, we learned about SBA loans and those type of things. We got that going, and I think we had at that time a bunch of boat slips. We still do, and so we had like a natural clientele. Yeah. And it's just kind of grown from there.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of people that live on their boats there in the marina?
Not like all year round, but it's definitely their lake house. I mean, it's instead of buying, a traditional home on the lake, they'll buy a boat, and then that's their lake house.
And when they come down on the weekends, they just stay on the boat.
They stay on the boat, yes.
You know what? I'd love that. I'd rock me to sleep every night.
Yeah.
That'd be all right. All right, so we're talking with Mark Brick. We're learning all about the Village Marina, the Brick House, Casablanca, the Boat House. So we'll continue talking about all that when we come back on the Community Spotlight Show. Central Ozarks Medical Center, voted Missouri's best and best at the lake, is recruiting team members due to growth. Amazing employment opportunities for both medical and non-medical positions with competitive salaries and outstanding perks. For more information, go to the Careers tab at centralozarks.org. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Join a leader. Join our team. COMC, where your health is our mission. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. Join Lake TV for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris from Slumberland Furniture. Wild Will and Uncle Chris focus on what's going on at the lake, new growth, old traditions, and everything in between. Join us for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, where your health is their mission. And we've got Mark Brick with us here. We're talking about all the stuff the Brick family runs around town right now. It's grown over the years. So Mark and your brother Ryan are kind of the hands-on part of the family here now, and your wives, of course.
Yes.
Your mom and dad still live back in Iowa?
No, they sold their place in Iowa, and now they have a place here at the lake, and then they have a place down in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, okay, yeah, I got to get down to the sunshine.
Right.
When it gets cold, right? But it's still family owned, and you and your brother Ryan kind of running things here, and you have your strength. You kind of run the sales department with the marina, and the boats and stuff like that. He runs the restaurants. Does he run all 3 of the restaurants? Or
yes, he does.
Okay, so you guys kind of have your strengths. Do you wander into each other's area, or do you kind of just you stay in your area, I'm going to stay in mine?
I think we've learned to split it up, and if you have comments, then you might as well put your apron on and get back to it, or leave me alone type thing.
It's like voting. If you don't vote, you don't have a right to gripe or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So you guys took out a loan to build this. You had to get rid of a 20-foot diver's pool that was there.
Yes.
Because they'd scuba dive in there. So you had to get rid of that and rebuild a whole new pool?
Oh, yeah, exactly. So that it's funny, these little stories. So I don't know if you know Richard Wickham, he's a big excavator around town, and we're sitting at Casablanca one night, and I said, problem is these pools are it'll take $100,000 to get rid of a pool. He goes, for $10,000, I'll get rid of that pool tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's great. And I thought we'd be talking more.
Right.
And then
he showed up the next morning.
The next morning with a big old thing. He tore the whole thing out. And I'm calling my brother Ryan. I'm like, dude, they took the pool. I guess we're gonna have to build something. And so it was quite that's how it kind of got started.
Wow.
So, but yeah, it was completely, the pool was removed, and it's a lot bigger pool now.
Yeah, he didn't need any further discussion. He was there at 7 the next morning. That pool was gone.
Exactly. That's the way you get things done. You just pull the tape or the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, absolutely. So there now you've got an incredible swim up bar and pool and everything over there.
Yep.
How does that, is that hard to maintain all of that? I'm guessing I mean, I had a swimming pool when we lived in Texas.
Right.
It was hard to maintain that, man, you know,
Yep.
and I'm guessing that's even a lot more work.
Oh yeah, well, we started off as a saltwater pool because we're supposed to make its own chlorine, but then the saltwater pools, they destroy absolutely everything, like all of your furniture, because that's salt. I don't know if it's evaporating or whatever, but it corrodes everything. So then we got rid of that. Then went to chlorine, and then so then just last year we had to buy a 600-gallon like liquid chlorine thing that, you know, so it automatically manages all the chemicals.
Right. Yeah.
And so
that's nice.
That's super nice, and that's a total game changer that helped that deal out. But you know, looking to the cost of just running a pool, I'm saying, and boathouse pools small compared to the big pools around here.
Yeah.
And I think it's like $2,500 a month in chlorine that we're, you know, going through.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, these lake bars, you know, they're a little more expensive, but it's like, there's a lot more expense to, you know, it's not like your home pool where you throw the little couple tablets in the basket. I mean, it takes a lot to keep them going.
That was too much for me, just throwing a couple in the basket, you know, I can't imagine on that. And I mean, you got so many more people and, you know, all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. How did you decide, like, the menu for the boathouse? What was the thinking beyond, and has it changed over the years, or?
The menu's kind of changed. It depends on who the chef is, you know, of that year.
Yeah.
And we had Robert Sills, who was the chef. They moved to Savannah Grill, but he had all these like Carolina type menus, and you want to keep them light, but you have to make it fast. We have a small kitchen.
Yeah.
And so you can't have like this elaborate type stuff. So it's really like, how do you make something really fast but make it good to where it's not just all frozen?
Kind of an art form.
It is. It is tough. Yeah.
Not as easy as it sounds.
Right.
Wow. And you're a pilot, right?
Yes.
Do you like flying? You get up to fly a lot these days?
So I have about 550 hours, you know, like in college and when I was younger, and I had student loans, I was able to afford flying, but I thought I'd really be able to enjoy it. But now I've realized that a commercial airline, you know, I could fly to Fort Myers for $300, where a private plane, you're not going to do that. So I kind of leave the flying to the big guys anymore. Yeah.
Do you miss it though? Because there's such a freedom to be up there flying, and so beautiful. You know, some people just do it, you know, like just to relax and stuff.
Sure.
So, do you miss it?
I still have like Microsoft Flight Simulator at home. I still act like I'm flying.
Okay.
Yeah, so I still do that. But I miss flying, but I think that unless you do it all the time, like you have to fly, I mean, to be good and safe and that stuff, you better have a reason to go fly, you know, several times a month, or you just get rusty, and you probably shouldn't. You can still do it on nice sunny days, but as a way of travel, it's probably not something you want to do.
Well, that, and you know, the maintenance on the plane, if you own it or renting the plane, none of that is cheap.
Right.
That's got to be tough. Closer to the ground, you love motorcycles.
Love motorcycles.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I think you said you did the Iron Butt Motorcycle Rally. What is that?
So you have to ride. Get on a motorcycle, and they have. That one's called a poker run, but So I started off in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They have like 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, there you go. And they also, probably an hour before, they say here's like 50 way spots you can go to.
Yeah.
And every spot has a point. And for the smart motorcycle guy, and I was never that smart, so where you could go to this spot, and you had to ride 1,000 miles in 24 hours. And so part of that, and then like you go to a gas station, you'd have the time, you have to have the receipt, the time, the mileage, and so they track you on the whole way. And then the next morning, so you're riding for 24 hours, and I did like 1,400 miles in 24 hours. And you pull back in, and then they certify you as the Iron Butt guy.
And it's well deserved, because you're probably pretty sore after that. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
Oh man. Okay, so we're down to our last 20 seconds here. How do folks get more information on everything going on with the Brick family?
Sure, you can go to villagemarina.com. That's kind of the central hub for a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Or you can go to any of our individual Facebook pages. Just on Facebook, search for Village Marina or Casa or any of the different spots, and that's where we try to keep all those pretty updated pretty well.
Greatness, great stuff. Mark Brick, thank you so much for joining us for this week's Community Spotlight Show.